we have a lot of stupid conversations before we go live that are
Yeah,
funny
we do.
that we're gonna put out on audio. We're gonna start putting out on audio. We're also gonna be changing up some other things, which we'll announce again later in the show. We're gonna announce it now before we forget. Um, we're gonna change the wheel spin to our pre-show, and we're gonna do that because on the pre-show, the audio pre-show, you know what movies are being picked, of course, until the schedule's made. But you know what movies are being picked right away as soon as the episode drops, and we're just gonna tell you what we think the movies are about, just going by the movie covers. Basically, that's it. We're not looking up anything about these movies, just going by what we either know about them or what we think we know about them, and that's it. And that's it.
I think the big message here is
What's
popcorn and
good,
pints.
Giovanni?
What's up? It's a two-man show tonight, unless Puerto Rican Chris decides to show up. I mean, did he give his address to James? James was looking for our addresses the other day. Maybe he called immigration on him.
He probably did again. Well, I did it last three times.
It's
You
the at this point they probably stopped answering the phone when they see our names because we keep reporting the same guy.
yep. I don't
But I
even
think
believe it anymore.
the big message here is Popcorn and Pints, the audio files podcast.
There you go.
That's
And
coming
we're
out.
actually going to be starting from, so if you follow our audio podcast, we stopped at like episode 50 or something like that. We're just going to be going from there on. So we're not doing any more of this on both. That's going to be its own thing attached to this, and this is going to be its own thing, of course, attached to that in a sense, but two different types of episodes.
Be recording our pre-show as an audio podcast where we're spinning the wheel, talking all kinds of smack about each other, our first impressions of movies that we're doing the coming week, fun, random entertainment stories, and just some fun shit and hanging out. So be on the lookout for that while we promote, of course, the live streams, and you'll catch a glimpse of what we talk about in the audio on here as well when it comes to the movies we'll be watching each week.
Yeah, and again, we're not looking at the credits, not the credits, the trailers. We're not looking at anything, the IMDB, Google, none of that shit. Just the movie covers. That's it.
So how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about yourself?
Living the dream, friend. Living the dream.
That's good.
We got a nice mix of wine and beer in me today, so.
That's good. What about cheese? Did you eat cheese?
Did I have cheese today? I did not have any cheese today.
Wow. You're in a really good mood for a white man who didn't have cheese today.
I know.
That's good.
That's unwhite of me to not have cheese.
Maybe it's the wine that did it.
I did have, well, there was a charcuterie board, but I only grabbed some grapes. They were doing cider donuts, man. I had cider donut today.
Cider donuts are fucking amazing.
They are. I love fall, man.
Oh my god, when they're nice and warm too.
Like I fucking once fall rolls around, I drink so much Oktoberfest cider and eat so many cider donuts. I'm almost good for the year.
You're not a pumpkin spice queen like James.
I fucking hate pumpkin spice. I want to burn down anything that makes pumpkin spice.
Thank you. I can only deal with one of you guys on this show.
Is James into it?
He loves it.
He's a basic bitch. I think we know that.
He tells us. He says this. This is his thing. Around this time, he loves. That's all he gets is pumpkin spice coffee, and it just.
We got to get him back on here. Hopefully, his rehab's going well.
Yes.
Physical, not drug.
Yep.
I feel like we don't specify that, and people might wonder.
Yeah, he was walking around in his high heels again, and
those you got to be careful, man. Those high heels, the higher you get, the more dangerous they are.
Yep.
You snap an ankle.
Yep. Especially when you know what you're doing.
You gotta learn to walk again. No.
Walking like they're sneakers. I don't think they don't move like that.
No.
As far as what I know, they don't move like that. I don't wear them, so I don't know. I'll have to ask Prince. But
no, we'll have to ask James when he's back.
That's true.
I'm excited about these movies. Were these first time watches for you?
They were, and they weren't bad. Neither one of them were bad.
Like we break out into video game movie talk every once in a while about how crappy they've been, how they've been getting better. But I think these are two movies that did it right.
Agree.
The fact that they made the first one and it was good, Less surprising these days when people pull that off. The fact that more surprising the fact that they did a sequel and they made that just as good.
Mm-hmm.
Even more impressive.
Yeah, I agree. They, excuse me, they really surprised me with these movies. They really freaking surprised me. Because I'm like, okay, they came out before Mario. I really enjoyed Mario, which I do stand by saying Mario is still the best video game movie I've ever seen, including better than these two. These two aren't bad at all. Don't get me wrong, but
See, no, Mario's great, but I still consider it's an animated movie.
yes, but
This
so is
is
this
live action. I mean, Sonic. The only
CGI, lots of CGI
CGI.
though.
I, I almost want to put them in different categories. It's just slightly.
Because this didn't Mario start with a little live action or no?
Well, there was the first live action Mario movie we watched, right? We watched that for this, didn't we?
No. I mean for the original, no, the cartoon one, the animated one. Was that all animated? There was no live action in between.
Nope, all animated.
Okay, never mind. Geo gives it a 10 for Sonic.
All right. So, did you ever get into the Sonic games?
Somewhat. Like I didn't own a Sega until my adult life when I had the Retron, I believe it's called. Or it's like a Sega, a Super, and a regular Nintendo.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then now with the Nintendo Switch, you can play Sega games. So I'd play here and there when I'd go to a friend's house, but I did always enjoy Sonic games. I just didn't get to play them as much as I got to play Mario because I had Nintendo and everybody I knew had a Nintendo. I only knew like one or two people that had Sega. Everybody else had Nintendo or Super Nintendo.
I remember we had Genesis when I was a kid. I remember the Sonic games. I enjoyed, well, at least the first few levels. I never beat one of the Sonic games.
Mm.
I'd eventually get too frustrated.
I believe that
because he's so fucking fast and
the boards get fast too. It's like
they
what the
do,
fuck?
man. They get real fast. I remember. So I had the Genesis. We didn't have Sega. There was a Sega CD, which I
Mhm.
think back in the Blockbuster days you could also rent systems, and I think we had rented a Sega CD,
Mhm.
and there was a Sonic game on that. I vaguely remember.
Nice.
Um,
I did. You know what? No, I'm lying. I did have a Dreamcast, and we had Sonic Adventure 2,
I was
and
getting
that
there.
was my shit. Like Shadow is my favorite fucking character from that. The red and black version of Sonic, just
Of
because he
course he
looks so
is.
cool.
Of course he's your favorite.
He's all red and then with the black on him, and he just looks so fucking cool. Hell yeah,
Um,
hell yeah. Red's my favorite color
so
too.
there was Sega
Shit.
CD. Then did they do Saturn after that?
Yeah, Sega
I
Saturn or
I got
Dreamcast.
no, Dreamcast was after Saturn
Yeah, it was
because that was
Saturn
the
and
last
Dreamcast.
system they made.
And that's what I had. I had a Dreamcast, which I want one again, and Sonic Adventure 2.
Because I got I had a Sega Saturn, which was not great.
I
That
had
was
one too.
that came out the same time as PlayStation, and I made
Because
the wrong decision.
Sega Saturn, didn't the Sega Saturn have that Street Fighter game on it? Right? Street Fighter, the movie game, was on Sega Saturn, I believe.
That sounds familiar.
I think
Oh,
it was.
it had the Sega Saturn. I know I've played every Sonic game up to that point, and then I got the Dreamcast, and I'm sure I had The Dreamcast was super cool, though. I do remember that.
Yeah. GameCube, too. Can't forget the GameCube.
I had a Cube.
Yes, we still do. I used to, my game was Gauntlet Legends, man. That's something I wish they would have made into like an online game. Like on the PS4, and you can play that online with people. Oh my god, it would be so freaking fun.
But
Going through those levels, but obviously looking way better and way bigger, way harder, of course, but very similar as far as how the game goes. Like what you got to do to get through the game.
Brutal Legends, you said? Is that the
No, Gauntlet, like
Oh,
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet. I'm thinking of Brutal Legends. That's why I laughed. Never mind. I don't remember Gauntlet Legends.
Used to play that shit in the arcade, and then I had it for the 64, I believe. Now I have it for the GameCube.
I mean, Just following Sega has been an interesting journey since they stopped making systems that they've just been able to survive as a company.
Nintendo. I believe Nintendo does a lot.
Nintendo, did they fully buy them?
It seems like it. I mean,
I don't remember.
I'm only assuming so because again, on the Nintendo Switch, when you get the extra, you get that extra package thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can play Sega. You can play Sega
All the
games.
Sega games are on there, so yeah,
Yeah, so
they
I'm
gotta at least.
assuming so. And then like when Nintendo comes out with certain games, there's games that have like Sonic in the game, like Sonic versus Mario or some type of shit, tennis type of deal. So I'm assuming so, or it's a partnership. I don't.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the movies, man. Do you now? I know it's your first time watch. Do you remember when the Sonic trailers first started to come out and how
Honestly, I
crazy,
remember.
how
I don't
bad the
remember the trailer.
CGI was?
I remember the conversation about how bad the CGI was and how pissed off people were. And I remember looking up pictures of it, and I was like, "Holy shit, that looks
It
fucking."
is super creepy, man. They gave him like human uh shaped teeth and stuff
Yeah.
that made him look so much more weird.
To this day, I wonder if they did it on purpose, though, just to get the attention.
I don't think they did.
Think
I
about
th-
it, though. I mean, because they changed it like that. You think about it, it's like, okay, look, we're gonna get so much more attention, negative attention, if we put it out and it looks like this. Boom, everybody's talking about it. Even if everybody doesn't watch this trailer, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's looking at the pictures.
that's a
Everybody's
pretty
complaining
big.
about it. But once they flip it and put out the boom, then they fix it. Like, oh, okay,
I don't.
we're doing okay.
That's a pretty ballsy PR risk to do that.
But that's what makes it a risk. You have to be ballsy sometimes.
You
You gotta
remember
be
the
ballsy
Sonic?
sometimes.
Do you remember the Sonic cartoon?
I
Like
actually do vaguely,
when he
and
was
I
voiced by
remember enjoying it.
Jaweel White.
I remember enjoying it.
So did I. I watched that shit as a kid. That was a good cartoon.
As a matter of fact, it's on it's either what is it on Paramount Plus, the show. That's where I watch the movies.
Yeah, so
I believe the show
they
is on
probably have the show
Paramount
too
Plus.
then. Well, okay, want to do ratings? Early
Yeah,
ratings?
for the first one.
Yeah, first one.
Okay, you go first. Pasty fire.
You know what? I'm gonna give it a 9.
Ooh, 9. 7.5 for me.
All right. All right.
Not mad at it though.
First off, I love the look of Sonic. So whether or not it was a gimmick to put out a shitty looking one first and then come out with this guy, maybe they had him in the back pocket. Maybe they really did take fan criticism into account. I love his look. I think he looks great.
Oh hell yeah, awesome, fucking awesome. Knuckles too. Even before I even get to that, Knuckles too, Tails as well.
The CGI for Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are great in both of these movies. Jim Carrey is an awesome Dr. Robotnik.
He is. He really is.
He makes such a great villain in this.
But and you're not even mad that he's not heavy set.
No.
Just because of the way he is, the way his character is, like he takes over the role. You know what I mean? But he is Dr. Robotnik, but he like takes over the role as him being Robotnik. You're not thinking of the chubby guy you're used to from the cartoon and from the video games. You're used to him from the live action being. And I feel like he's the perfect actor to do it.
He's fat and bald in the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jim Carrey is pretty much the exact opposite of that. What I love, just jumping to the end, right before the credits, after they maroon him to the Mushroom Island, there's the scene of him shaving his head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's awesome.
Yes.
Like, that was a great way to strand him there. That was a brilliant scene.
It was. It was.
He's not wearing the red coat at first. I love when at some point he's wearing the red coat. Maybe it's when he shows up to James Marsden house looking for Sonic, and then someone makes a crack about his red coat after he's wearing it. So that was a cool Easter egg.
did a lot of improv for this movie. Let him do that with this role, which makes
I feel like you can't hire Jim Carrey in a role where you need a little comedy and not let him improv.
I would even say with a serious dark role too. I'm sure he's good at that as well. I feel people that are really good in comedy are also really good in that dark, not even like a humor, but just like that dark spot, that dark place.
Comedy comes from a dark place, most of it.
Yeah, so I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to,
I think what's interesting about him playing Robotnik is like he is a super physical comedian.
He is.
Like, and obviously you see Robotnik in the game, he's always flying a ship. You're not seeing body movements from the actual video game
But
character or something.
you know what I will say though? I mean, the video games, as far as especially the Game Gear, let's say, that's where I played it the most.
Oh, I fucking forgot about Game Gear.
Shout out to Corey, but I used to play it on his Game Gear damn near all the fucking time. I played it the most.
Oh man, Game Gear was cool as shit.
Yeah, it was. Second was my boy Marcus. Shout out to you. Was his Sega to play Sonic over there a lot. And where was I going with this? Just a dope game. Just dope games. Oh yeah, with Robotnik, with his like, I think with his little bit of animatedness and like the little things he would say when he's talking shit. I feel like was their way of being as animated as they could with those graphics. And now this movie's really bringing it out. You know what I mean? As much sense I can make out of that, like, because you can only be so animated in those games back in the day. You can only move around so much without having to do so much to make the game work right.
Yeah, and I think that probably gave him free range and made it.
And that's why I feel like that's why they would like talk a lot, especially with the Robotnik. And and you beat him or whatever, and he's talking.
Oh yeah,
his mouth, get you later, whatever. But yeah, I thought what's his face? Jim Carrey was perfect for this fucking role.
He was, man. I feel like when you're not casting someone that has the look, and he comes out with people saying he was awesome and he made it its own. That was top-notch casting.
Like this is the type of thing to where there's gonna be kids who grow up and watch this movie that have never played the game, and that's Dr. Robotnik to them, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine.
I never even actually thought of that. I'm surprised I didn't.
You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be kids that, I mean, your niece, maybe some of your nieces and nephews or whatever, are gonna watch this and never have played the game, and then some may even think this came before the game or think the game was made because of this. Until you explain it, like, no,
doesn't make me feel old at all.
This game is older than you. This game came out when I was your age. Oh, you're really old, you son of a bitch. Go home. Fuck
old
this
enough
kid,
old enough to backhand.
But
this has it's really well written. And honestly, there's not the jokes are at a great pace. Like nothing is overdone. I felt like when it came to the comedy and the jokes they're trying to interweave into the script here. Like
and it was like, I mean, some of the jokes were funny, but a lot of them were like that kind of cutesy wootsy stuff. But there was some funny in there. But I understand why they did the cutesy wootsy for the kids.
I mean, yeah, it's still a kids ish.
Yeah,
movie.
of course. But they did have some stuff. It's like, okay.
As far as the rest of the cast goes, I've always liked James Marsden. Like, I haven't seen him in something that I didn't enjoy him in.
Okay.
And it's not like he's a big actor or anything, but he's been in some big shit.
Who is that?
The main guy in this, he's the cop. Donut Lord.
Okay. Donut Lord.
Which I love this. Sonic knows him as Donut Lord. I forgot what he called his wife.
Prime something. I forgot.
I
forgot too, because it was only mentioned, I think, that one time.
Towards the beginning
of the first one,
yeah.
Right? And then that was it. And then Donut Lord was throughout both movies. Which, are you a Donut Lord?
I've had a donut today. Or when he's texting him and he has him in his phone as Donut Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the actor's name is Ben Schwartz, the guy that voices Sonic. He was on Parks and Rec, and he's shown up in all kinds of stuff.
Pretzel Lady,
that's it. Yes.
Okay.
Sonic has a great voice. I think they got to write it. They got the right actor for Sonic's voice.
I'm not mad at any of the voices. I'm not mad at Tails' voice because it should be more like high pitch and sound younger than Sonic. I'm not mad at um, Knuckles' voice because it sounds more
Idris
rugged.
Elba as Knuckles was awesome, but we'll get
Yes.
to that. But what
But
I enjoy about the first Sonic movie, even from the beginning, it's got the story there, but they're interweaving these jokes, like when what is the actual character's name? Tom. James Marsden character's name is Tom. He's the cop and he has the speed gun out
yeah.
and there's nothing
Oh,
happening. And
turtle.
then there's the turtle that he clocks, and then Sonic's running back and forth and seeing if he can crack like 300 on the speedometer there on the
Yeah,
speed gun.
296 the first time.
Yeah. And then I started cracking up when he picks up the turtle and he's running with the
Yep.
turtle, and you just see the turtle's face like,
Yep.
and then he sets the turtle back down. Yeah,
It's
he
shaking
sets
and
the turtle
shit.
down and he's shaking.
Yeah.
You're never gonna go that fast.
Nope. Would you want to?
I would try it.
300 miles per hour?
Why not?
On the ground, though. Like, say if it's in a vehicle, you're not the driver.
I take that back. I don't want to do that.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to do that.
In an airplane, obviously, it's different. You're probably going faster than that anyway, but you don't really feel it like that. But or in a boat. Oh my god, I would never want to do it in a boat. Fuck that. I wouldn't even go in a boat.
You can't swim.
I can swim. I just don't like boats. I don't think they're necessary. Well, I guess they're necessary. If I had to go on a boat, life depending on it, I'll get on a boat. Other than that, fuck, I need to get on a boat for it.
Aaron on a boat. Sturdy on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
What were the other good parts in this? So they're on.
You know what was crazy? Like this movie kind of ties you in a serious note with the owl, because I never knew about this part. I don't know the game that well, so I don't know if it's any part of the game or if that's just something they added to it.
That's right.
And
I don't think.
I guess the owl raised them or whatever, or was raising them, and then Sonic being little, young, hard headed with the power of speed, like anybody else would be doing, is out there jumping around, fooling around, running around, and shit, got caught up and basically got the owl killed. It was his fault. And of course, the owl didn't blame him, but it was 100% his fault because he didn't listen. And shit, he learned a tough lesson. He had to grow up fast, and shit. I mean, but it tied you to that story. Just like, holy shit, that's sad. Like right there.
They tried to make it emotional too, to draw people.
And I appreciate that, respect that, because it's one of those things that makes you, especially with these type of movies, it makes you pay attention more. I feel. In a sense.
Well, I mean, you want to get your audience emotionally invested so that they're.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And yeah, it reminds me of, if I'm not mistaken, the cartoon, right?
I don't remember what happened in the cartoon.
It showed his room with the beat up beanbag and shit and some other stuff. I forgot what exactly.
I have to go back and watch it. But Baby Sonic was adorable at the beginning. And the CGI was good there too, where he's talking about his island and Long Claw saving him.
It made you want a fucking Baby Sonic, didn't it?
It did. And the fact, actually, I realized this. Maybe I didn't realize this the first time I watched these movies, but I realized it now because the clan that comes in to come after Long Claw are Knuckles' people.
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, they don't. I feel like the second movie's more has even more video game related material than the first one.
Yeah. I mean, you have the Emerald.
Yeah.
You have Knuckles. You have Tails.
Of course, but where Sonic and Tom are finally on their road trip to get to San Francisco so he can recover his rings. They're driving along and Sonic sees the sign for the world's largest rubber band ball. And Tom's like, we're not stopping. So he just goes and comes back while Tom's still driving.
Back. He's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't right. But what really cracked me up is he has the paddle with the ball and he's just bouncing it while he's looking at Tom. I don't know why. Just the look on his face, the way that it fucking cracked me up, that scene.
You know what's funny about that scene is I pictured you as being Tom, just looking so fucking annoyed because I get to see you being so mad so easy. Like, just imagine you driving your niece or nephew within 5 minutes and they're acting like that. Oh my god! Can you shut the fuck up? Be still. Shit.
It's they nailed Sonic's personality as just like an adolescent kid,
Yeah, because that's how he was in the cartoon,
and
and
it's great.
he's young, and that's how it should be. Like, yes, he's fast, he's a hero, but he's still young and immature. He's gonna do some shit.
The whole biker bar scene was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. He was so fascinated with dudes like, I was like, oh shit.
Where he's, they're parking, they're on the run. Tom goes to use the phone booth and he looks over and he sees the biker's bar. He's like, that's the coolest place on earth. And he's trying to fight the temptation to go while he's in the truck.
Did a horrible job at fighting that temptation.
Yep. And then he's in there in his disguise. And what did so the big bikers come walking over to the table. Did they say, what was it? We don't like your kind here. What kind? Hipsters? Is that what they said? I think that's what they said, right?
Something like that.
I like
Something
that Sonic goes to grab the bottle and smash it
like
over
the
the guy's
hidden.
head and it doesn't break. Oh, they have the whole Speed reference too. That's right. Sonic is watching Tom and his wife through the window as they watch the movie Speed in the beginning.
Yes.
So there's a Keanu connection
Yep.
there.
Actually, Francis pointed that out earlier when we were watching the movie. She mentioned the speed thing and all that. But yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then he causes the bar fight. It starts to get out of hand. And I love one of my favorite things about these movies. One of my favorite scenes are where all this action breaks out and then it slows down to just Sonic and the music they put in the background as he's just casually going about changing everything or shifting Robotnik's missiles.
Mm-hmm.
That was great too. But the music in the background where everything in the scene slows down and Sonic is just going about his business and setting everything up cracked me up. But that fucking chase scene was really great too, where Robotnik's after him.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like in the machine, like as Giovanni was saying, the machines keep getting smaller and smaller. And what I enjoyed about it too, it was like a cool action scene in a sense, but they also made it funny and cool at the same time. So it wasn't too serious of an action scene where you have to take it to that sense of, oh shit, this action scene wasn't that great. But now that they put the comedy into it, you're not looking at it as it's that. You know what I mean? That spectacular. It was still a cool action scene. It was a funny action scene. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's a lot of action in this movie.
And the cool shit about it too was I love how, like in the beginning of this, how when Sonic was little, how it's shown like running through certain parts. Do you remember like certain parts of the first few stages?
Oh yeah, his home island they made look like the original video game set levels and
it
stuff
made
like
me of
that.
the Game Gear, all of that shit.
They worked in so many great Easter eggs to tie it to the game.
Exactly.
In fact, even the supporting characters. So when they get to San Francisco, Tom and Sonic, and they run into, he's on the run.
Ooh.
And they get to his sister-in-law's house where his wife is. I love that the sister-in-law, by the way, is encouraging her sister to divorce Tom the whole time.
Oh my gosh,
she hates him. And then the scenes where they're at her house and they tie her up and she's in her chair. That was
yelling and shit.
That was hysterical. And then the little girl giving him his iconic red shoes.
You cried, didn't you?
I did a little bit. No, I'm glad that they made that a scene and that he didn't just show up in the beginning wearing red shoes.
Yeah. I like how, because I was wondering when he was gonna get the sneakers, and I felt like as soon as I seen the little girl, maybe not that soon, but as soon as I seen her leave the room, I was like, she's going to give him some sneakers. She's going to give him some sneakers, of course. But I was fine with that.
I like that they made that a scene, and he didn't just show up. It wasn't just wearing them from the beginning.
No, it was a nice scene. It was a touching scene.
But back to Jim Carrey, the scene where he's in his armored truck and he's just dancing around while
Oh
he's
my
waiting for
god.
these experiments to go on with Sonic's quill.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's
Oh my
living it
god.
up in there. At one point, he has the monitor behind him. Is he running from a dinosaur or he's skiing down a hill or
Run
something?
for a dinosaur at one point and like laughing and shit. I'm like, this guy is having a
He is
fucking blast.
insane, man.
He's having a blast with this shit.
I
Oh,
feel like he really had fun on these movies, and I meant to look up if they were doing a third. I don't know because, well, they even set it up at the end of the second one for a third, but I don't know. I forgot to look up. Jim Carrey, I think, was essentially retired from acting before he even took this role.
that's what I was thinking too. So it's like if they made a third, we would need him in it and nobody else. Like I wouldn't want a replacement for Robotnik. I'd want Jim Carrey or none. Jim Carrey or none. Like you can't
I don't
like
think you could recast that now.
hell no, you can't. The only thing you could do, which I wouldn't even do, but the only thing you'd be able to do if you wanted to continue this without Jim Carrey is doing a reboot and starting all the fuck over and doing a cast and everything else.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's worth that. If Jim Carrey doesn't want to be in it, end it there. Leave it at the first two.
I would think you have to.
Or wait for this strike shit to be over. Hopefully it goes over soon and fucking pay him what he needs to be paid and do what you gotta do to get him in there, make a third and final. And leave it at that.
Oh,
Something.
so they're in San Francisco. They're going to get Sonic's rings. They're waiting for the elevator, and Sonic is in the bag, and he's saying to let him
That
out.
shit was funny.
And people are like, "Are there a child in the bag?" It's like, "Don't worry, it's not my child."
He's like, so there's a child in the bag that's not yours. He's like, yeah.
Not my child.
I don't like it in here. He's playing.
What a all the side characters in this too were done really well. Like the other sheriff, Tom's incompetent sheriff. The actor's name I think is Adam Pally, and he's been in a few things, and I've always enjoyed him when I've seen his characters. He plays a similar type guy in a lot of stuff, but he's always been really good. When they get back to the town for like the final fight, and Crazy Carl, by the way, was a fun fucking character. I mean, he's only in 2 or 3 scenes in the movie. The beginning
Crazy
where he's the only
Carl.
one that believes in the Blue Devil.
Yep.
And he he sets up all the traps.
Was
and
good.
Then,
3 weeks. Was good.
Yo. He sets up all the traps to try to catch Sonic. And then he's hanging upside down after getting caught in his one trap. He's like, I know you're out there. And then you hear Sonic yell from a distance, "No, I'm not."
Yep. You hear echo. I was like, oh my god,
that was good. But when they come back right before the final fight, and like the residents of the town are lining up along the street to support Sonic, Crazy Carl pulls out a chainsaw. Like, where the
out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did you get that? Like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Like, even the final fight between Sonic and Robotnik was done really well, man. It was a great last battle in the movie.
It really was. And again, this movie surprised me. It surprised the hell out of me. I was like, holy shit, they did a really good job with this. And a lot better than I thought. And I'm happy it was better than what I thought. And it just it wasn't a bad watch, and it wasn't a bad back to back. Well, I didn't watch them back to back. I watched one this morning and then one when I got back home. But either way, I could have watched them back to back if I had to, and it would have been a bad back to back watch. But I don't know if I'd watch them again. Like, they weren't that good. They were good enough, and I say this for both of them. I know we didn't rate the next one yet, but for both of them, they were good, but they weren't good enough for me to come back and watch them unless I was doing it for like a podcast, or if a third one came out, I wanted to watch all 3 just to kind of see the connections and shit. But yeah, they weren't bad.
No, and then I enjoyed the way the movie ended. Like, after they banish Robotnik to the Mushroom Island, the military guy comes to the door and gives them an Olive Garden gift card for like $50.
Yep.
And did you catch that on it? They wrote that the card was from Uncle Sam on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just I love the setup for the sequel, which we're about to talk about too. Like I mentioned early on, the cut scene to Robotnik on the Mushroom Island, shaving his head bald to get even more like the character, and then Tails appearing.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So Jason said Sonic might be the best video game movie, and then he says, "Hang on." Before the new Mario, and then he said Mortal Kombat is his favorite.
Oh, all right.
The newer Mortal Kombat, I'm assuming. Which I'm just dropping this Cast for a Cause link because the charity is still going.
I wonder how much of the sequel they got filmed before the strike. Because I know they were filming it.
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a great question.
But yeah, man, this was a great. The first Sonic movie is great.
Yeah,
I stand by my 9.
I stand by my. What I give it, 7.5.
Yep.
The original, really? Wow.
Oh,
I respect it.
I can respect the original. Annihilation was garbage.
It was, but I don't hate it. Like it's so bad that I enjoy it, and I can accept it. Like watching it after I watch the first one, I can watch that, and as bad as it is, I'm like,
They
I don't know
changed
why
the entire cast other than Liu Kang and Johnny Cage for his very few scenes.
Kept it going up. They whatever.
Yeah. It's wheel time. Then we can move into Sonic 2.
Yes, but no episode next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Wait, are we doing the wheel? Or are we doing the wheel on the?
No. We'll do it this time. We gotta set the stage. We gotta set the stage for when we're back. So
is this the last time we're doing the wheel?
This is the last time we're doing a live wheel spin.
Yeah, this is the last time we're doing a live wheel spin, and
here on out, we'll be recording our pre-show for Popcorn and Pints, the Audio Files podcast, and doing our spins on there.
Yes, and it will be back where our audios are now. It'll be back on there. We're not going to be doing movie reviews. We're just going to be talking about basically like what we feel these movies are going to be about. Like after we spin the wheel,
be hanging out,
random shit,
ripping on each other, talking entertainment
pretty
stories.
much how we do on the live. But just again, we're not looking up anything about these movies. No trailers, no nothing. So this will be the last live wheel spin on Popcorn and Pints. And from here on out, it's going to be on our audios, which we're starting in 2 weeks when we come back in 2 weeks from Saturday or a week from 2 weeks from today.
Something like that. Yeah. That's math.
Like that. So, yeah. So I'm going to pull up the wheel.
Let's do it.
Let me share the screen. Let me see. But yeah, you guys are going to get at least a half-hour show of us. No edit. So don't expect that. Dropping the audio right over our audio stuff. And yeah. Enough shuffling, right? Spin.
I mean, does shuffling even really do anything on this?
I forgot this thing played music.
Does it play music?
Yeah, you don't. Oh, I didn't share the sound of it. After it picks the wheel, I'll unshare it and I'll share the sound.
Chicks Picks? Chicks or 80s? I think it's going 80s. Ooh.
Oh, shoot.
80s.
By a hair.
So close.
Close. All right, I'm going to reshare it and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I feel like it should have circus music.
I think I just put it on random. I really don't know what I did, but
we got some great shit on here. God damn, that's loud.
I don't know how to change that.
Uncle Buck. I had to take my headphones off.
Yeah, let me see if I can turn the volume down for that.
I like the applause.
Let me see if I can turn the volume down for that so I don't blow out anybody's ears.
That shit was loud.
Drum roll, volume, let me turn it down about 10%. That should be okay.
All right.
So let me just save Uncle Buck.
That short circuit's going to be a fun conversation when we hit that one.
Oh, I already know because the
Brown
paint.
face.
Yep.
I can't wait to watch Highlander. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Aaron knows I never seen it. Yeah, I'm talking about myself, people. So what? Let me just hit save. Save.
I feel like there should be more on here.
Waiting for the Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Is that better?
That is better.
All right, I turned it down to like 10%.
It's surprisingly loud for 10%, though. I think we're going Ghostbusters.
Oh shit! I'm not mad at that.
Wow.
Strange neighborhood.
I don't know the last time I've seen it.
I'll say it was about 1997. You were sitting down. It was the last time you watched the movie with your dad before he moved out. That sound about right?
I think you're thinking of when your dad went to go get cigarettes and didn't come back.
Yeah, but I see him all the time. He stopped smoking before I was born.
Hey, the picture you drew? Did you draw him on? Did you draw his face on a volleyball like Wilson?
Nah, I didn't have to do that pretend bullshit. I forgot we were still alive. Oops. That's the shit you're gonna get in the pre-show, people.
Oh, joking about broken homes.
Yeah. But that's what we're getting. Fucking Ghostbusters and
Ghostbusters and Uncle Buck. It's gonna be a fun week.
That's what it was. Ghostbusters and Uncle Buck. Oh wow, that's a nice week. In 2 weeks. So we'll try to have a pre-show beforehand, and we'll have that drop before the show comes out. We'll try our best. But either way, the pre-show we're gonna roll another wheel, and that one will be revealed on what movies we're reviewing once we go live. I think that's how we're doing it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, yes. So that's the stuff. That's the wheels.
Uncle Buck and Ghostbusters in 2 weeks.
Yep. That's gonna be a fun time. That's gonna be a fun fucking time, Christopher.
It is gonna be a fun time. We're gonna have to get some. We're gonna have to bring on some guests for that one. That's a great.
Shit. We should. So whoever's watching, what are you doing? 3 Geeks podcast. What are you doing in 2 weeks at 9:00 Eastern time? Can you stay up this late for Uncle Buck and the other movie?
Ghostbusters.
That one. Ghostbusters. Uncle Buck and the Ghostbusters.
Uncle Buck and the Ghostbusters.
Yes, Mr. Jason Taylor.
Terrible band name.
All right, Jason's joining us in 2 weeks.
Right.
We got one guest. See if we can get a couple more. We'll see.
So let's jump into Sonic 2, man.
Okay, let's do it. I'll go first. Honestly, to me they're about the same. 7.5 again.
I was tempted to go higher just because how much I enjoyed the addition of Tails and Knuckles, and Idris Elba as Knuckles nails it.
He did.
There's more. It's more video game stuff, and I'm gonna go 9.5.
Okay.
Not quite a 10.
I'm mad at that at all. Hey.
Because
Yeah.
one of my favorite things about this is Knuckles' interactions with all the characters.
Yeah.
From his
He's himself the whole fucking time. He ain't
He
thinking.
is. Like, he takes people for their word, he's ignorant of the culture and stuff like
Mhm.
that, he's serious, and then by the end of it, when he's playing baseball with Sonic and Knuckles, and they're driving away for ice cream, he's
Oh,
like,
he's fine
"I
having
beat you
fun.
in the game of base and ball, it wasn't even close." He's like, "Did you know they have sprinkles?" And they're
Yep.
talking about
Yep.
ice cream. What a way to celebrate my victory. Like,
They
I just
started having
Elmer
fun.
has
He's
such
like,
a
yeah.
great voice for him, and the way he play he's just so deadpan,
Yep.
and it's perfect.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. But it was just still again, they were both just a 7.5 to me, which isn't a bad score, especially when I do my ratings from a -10 to a +10. It's not a bad score at all.
And I really love that they went even more Eggman with Jim Carrey on this one with a shaved head and the crazy ass mustache.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Like, that was more fun. The movie starts out with him abandoned on the mushroom planet, and he turned his partner, Agent Stone, into a rock, just a giant stone,
Yes, he did.
and he's
Yes, he
talking to him,
freaking did. And freaking drinking shit out the mushrooms, talking about trying to make a coffee,
trying to make mushroom coffee.
spitting it out. Yo, them shrooms were fucking him up. That's what was going on. That's how he was acting. So that's how he was acting a little bit different and doing some shit. That's what was really going on. They don't want the kids to know that though. But once you're older, you know better.
And so, what is it? He sends off that radio signal that brings Knuckles and his people so
Hmm.
he can get back to Earth. Uh, when we first see Sonic in the sequel, he's trying to stop that armed truck robbery, and
Doing Puerto Rican things.
someone asked where Puerto Rican Chris was.
Yeah, where's Chris? Oops, here we go. To pull it up and start. Chris is doing Puerto Rican things. Three geeks.
Yep, that's what he does when he's not here. Just strictly Puerto Rican things.
Don't know what that is. It could be anything.
No, he even calls it that, so we don't know. He doesn't get into specifics, and we don't ask.
Nope. None of our business, just in
Nope.
case. We don't want to be a witness to anything.
No, we don't. Yeah, we just continuously check in with immigration on
Yep.
more.
Make sure he's good.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, yep.
He's always good though. He's always good.
We try, but yeah, they're letting him go.
Yep.
Um,
Oh man. Kid people, we kid.
it's true. Uh, so we see Sonic at first trying to stop this armed truck robbery, which is a whole
Mhm.
fun scene right at the beginning as they're being chased by the cops,
You
and
know what it made
he
me
can't
think
drive.
of? It made me think of, you know how if you watch The Flash, like the first season of The Flash, like remember how cocky he was in the beginning just
I've
because he
never
had it?
watched it.
Anyway, Jason, you've seen it before, I'm sure. And he was real cocky like that. If you've ever seen the cartoon of The Flash, like you see him in the earlier episodes, he's cocky like that. Um, who else is like that? I'm trying to think. But just that cockiness, and then you finally get slapped, and it's like, oh shit, I need more than just my speed. I need this, that, and third. So I enjoyed that portion of it, and I like how he was reading Flash magazines or Flash comic books in the first one. I was like, that's so fucking awesome,
Yep, he loves comic books.
and it was all the Flash. I was like, that's so fucking awesome. That's oh my gosh, yes, yes,
That was
yes,
good.
perfect.
But he's trying to drive this truck, and then like the bombs come sliding up.
He
It's
reminded me of Michelangelo driving right there. Ninja Turtles. Don't you think of
oh
Michelangelo
yeah,
driving?
I can see
That's
that.
what it made me think of because it's real silly like that. Him doing all the silly dumb shit with the bombs and all that, and then panicking and throwing it out
He
the
gets
window.
one stuck in the spikes.
Yep,
That was
he'd
good.
get one stuck in his belt or something stupid or under the brakes or you know how it would go.
And the fact that he can't that like the brakes are out, so he can't stop the truck, so he
Mhm.
just speedily circles around it to
He
disassembling the
takes
whole
it
thing.
apart.
Ugh,
Takes it all apart. I
like
was
that
like,
was
wow,
awesome. That was really good. And
that's
then
fucking impressive. Excuse me, that was impressive.
I totally forgot they introduced the dog in the first one. And Sonic
Hmm.
has to stare down with him, and in this one, they're friends. Like when
Hmm.
so Tom and his wife go to Hawaii, and He basically destroys the house, doing all kinds of crazy shit with the
Crazy
hanging
shit.
out with the
Jumping on the
dog.
couch, pouring cereal all over the fucking boat. Which I
I think
mean,
my favorite part of it is when he's driving the lawnmower inside and just shooting shit everywhere.
cereal and shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, that looks so fucking fun, but not at my house. Like that had to be at like if we went to your house and you agreed to do it.
No, that shit's not happening here.
I'm just saying. It wouldn't be at my own house. You wouldn't it's not something you do at your own house. Maybe that one single friend's house that's still dumb enough to do shit like that. If you still
There
have
you
that
go.
friend.
Yeah.
I don't really have that type of friends anymore, I don't think though.
A high school party at someone else's house.
Yeah, but we're too old to be going to those type of parties.
Oh, no. I definitely
We're not
wouldn't do
doing
that now. Are you kidding me? If it wasn't for this podcast, I'd be asleep right now.
it. That's hilarious.
Yeah. What time is it? Yeah, adult, but yeah, by far.
Oh my god, you're so fucking old, man. You gotta get out. You gotta
You're
break
not
this
that far behind me there, bitch.
Yeah, but I'm not tired at fucking 8 o'clock at night. You drink some warm milk and fucking lay down and watch some I Love Lucy and go to sleep. That's bad.
Hey, man. You live your life, I live mine.
Hey man, I'm not judging you though.
That's right.
I'm not judging.
Yeah, Idris Elba's Knuckles was awesome. Tails is fantastic too.
Yes, Tails. You can't sleep on Tails. You can't sleep on Tails.
Him with his gadgets and everything are fantastic. Was it where I wrote it down? I don't remember when they said when this happened. Maybe it was when they were Siberia. Did your butt just turn into a helicopter? That was one of the best lines in the movie. Where Sonic first meets Tails and when they're probably crashing when they're driving the cop car off the cliff, I think is when he says that.
When he's
After
flying,
they're being chased by Knuckles.
He said butt helicopter or something, or butt copter. A butt copter is the only Sonic can come up with something like that. I lost my damn mind. I was dying. I was high as shit. I was laughing so fucking hard at that part. Oh my god, it was so fucking funny and so stupid at the same time. But oh my gosh, man.
Like this is a continue. I feel like they did the most impressive thing about these movies is that not only was the first one great, the second one was just as great, if not a little better. And even closer to the games and stuff.
See, and I feel it was about the same. And I'm not saying neither one was bad though, but I just think they just didn't bring me to that. Oh my god, they did that! Like holy shit! I feel like they did everything they're supposed to do in this. Maybe a couple of surprises, but I wish there was a little more of a punch. Then I'm like, oh shit! I don't know what though. That's the problem, but I just wish there was.
See, what I was trying to think as I was watching this because I couldn't remember. I'm like, doesn't he? I was waiting to see him turn gold, which he does at the end of the second one, and it was awesome. Where he basically just becomes a god Sonic.
Like I forgot what they call it. Supersonic? Is that what they really call it?
I don't remember. But I love that they come back to Agent Stone. He's working in the coffee shop, and it was I think the first reintroduction to him is he's drawing Robotnik's face in the coffee foam. Like he's so I really enjoyed his obsession with Robotnik. It was hilarious.
It was funny, but it was wild, but it was fucking funny. I was like, wow, this guy he's real talented with those lattes, though.
Yeah, and then what was it the other sheriff? The coffee shop's closed because he's in there doing stuff. The other sheriff looks through the window and he's flipping through like costumes for a Robotnik on the screen. He's like, yeah, that's the
Oh, he's looking through the mail slide.
Yeah.
And what was funny is you've seen the one from the video game, if I'm not mistaken. He scrolled past it.
One of them was in there. I can't remember them all. It was so long.
Similar to it. It was it was the red top with the black pants, and I think the yellow buttons, something like that. But I remember the red top and the black pants.
I know it's dumb and predictable, but I enjoyed the fact that every time Knuckles shook someone's hand, he crushed their hands.
Yeah.
I don't.
Big ass fucking hands.
Yeah, they've said plenty of Knuckle jokes that were not overdone or
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're not surprised, they were still made me chuckle.
Oh man, I'd be like, man, it must hurt to beat your meat.
The whole
Either
scene
that or he has a real
where
tough dick.
the whole scene or however long it is of the movie where Sonic and Knuckles go into that Siberian bar
Mm-hmm.
was awesome. They're in Siberia. They're going into this bar. I love that the door opens and they're literally standing there bundled in coats and hats and fucking goggles or whatever it is. I don't something about that cracked me up.
Mm-hmm.
And then their whole experience in there, which turns into a dance fight,
Which was fucking hilarious.
which was great. I love that the guy at the bar that comes out to challenge them rips his shirt off, has his arms out like this, and there's a tattoo on his chest of him standing like this. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, and when they used their powers or like used their real moves and they started dancing all good and crazy and shit, I was like, oh shit, there you go, finally.
There you go.
This is what I was waiting for. Okay, okay, it was
And,
funny though.
and then they fall asleep by the fire. Sonic wakes up with one of the
The old
Russian
lady.
with the old lady with his arm around. Tails, wake up! We have a situation.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh shit, hey man, whatever happened happened.
And then, oh man, there's the scene where Robotnik is back in the coffee shop with Agent Stone and Knuckles, and Tom is Donut Lord is texting Sonic, and they can see the texts as they're happening,
Mm-hmm.
and Knuckles is just standing behind them reading the texts, and
Got that,
like
that.
totally straight deadpan face. And then they display the dots that someone's typing, and Knuckles just keeps going dot 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 dot.
Yep, yep, that was funny as shit too.
And that was a great scene. That was brilliant.
Oh man,
Oh,
it was so good. Oh, and when Knuckles was like, "Okay, so Sonic's gonna be at his house, so let's go there," and then Knuckles, and they looked up like, "No, he's lying. He's actually at such and such a place. That's just what he told his dad, but he's really here. So let's go here." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I like it." Because Knuckles is so old school. He's like, "This is what I get. This is what I know. This is how I go. This is
yeah,
what I get.
it's
This
just
is how I roll."
I they did an awesome job with him because Knuckles takes everything at face value,
Mm-hmm.
and he does it so serious and deadpan like.
Yes, he does.
I don't know. It was awesome for the character.
Oh, it was
Uh,
great.
One of my favorite jokes they make in this movie is that maybe it's as soon as Robotnik comes back and Sonic sees him for the first time, or at some point when they're fighting each other, and he tells Robotnik, "You look like Professor X met the Monopoly Man."
Yes,
That was
yes,
a
say it.
great joke.
He did say that. He did say that. Yeah, these were fun movies though. Like overall, I had a good time with these movies. I'm glad I watched them. I'm glad the first time I watched them was for the podcast, not just watch them just to watch them type of deal. And I'm glad I watched them back to back. I mean, same day I'll say, so not necessarily back to back because I went out and about and stuff. But I'm glad I watched them. I'm glad I watched them. I don't see myself watching them again. Maybe if there's a third one, I'm gonna watch them just to kind of see how they all tie together. Maybe. Other than that, I don't see myself watching them again. If there's not a part three, these aren't for me.
See, I'm not opposed to watching these again. It would depend on the situation.
I mean, like if they're playing on TV, say background noise, and say me and the wife are chilling up here playing Uno or something like that, or Monopoly or whatever, I wouldn't care too much. But it's not something I would go to. Like, hey, let me throw this
Oh,
on.
couple Easter eggs because I have more notes here that I'm going to run through.
Yes,
A
yes, go ahead.
couple game Easter eggs I caught. So they're at the. Actually, I like that they gave the sister-in-law more time in this, and they go to her wedding and ruin it in Hawaii.
The ringtone.
Yep, his Tom's ringtone is the classic Sonic music when his cell phone goes off. And
There was
did you catch when they're in the giant Robotnik robot? Uh, Agent Stone is running the controls where Robotnik is just floating there controlling stuff.
mm,
And he talked about reading the manual. Agent Stone does something super quick, and he says he read it in the manual. He holds it up, and the manual is in like the old Sega format looking thing, just like the black with
Yeah,
the white stripe. Did you catch that?
that was
It looked like one of the books from the video games back in the
that was
day.
fucking awesome. I love that shit. I love when they do shit like that because it throws the nostalgia and of course it gets us all like, oh, look what they did for us. Yeah, and
Like
you love it.
that was a deep Easter egg right there.
Mm-hmm. You said that was a
Uh,
what? A PP what?
what?
PP string?
That was a deep Easter egg.
Oh, wow, never mind.
Wait, are you watching porn? Are you watching?
No,
What are you
I thought you
doing?
said that was a PP something though. I thought it made your
No,
PP happy that they did this.
it did make my PP happy. It could have.
Hey, listen.
Hey, man. What else was there? I enjoyed the whole snowboarding scene was done really
That was
well. I thought with Sonic coming down the mountain, Knuckles after him.
awesome. Mm-hmm.
That was great. What was it? Oh, the ring mix-up. I love that they worked in her sister-in-law much more in this because she was great. She was a great character.
Oh, her sister.
Her sister. That's right. Tom's
They
sister.
had, they had to. They had to. And it like the way because the way they added her in the first one, you're like, okay. The way she kind of stole the scene with her attitude and the way she was kind of funny in her scenes and shit. You're gonna need her in part two a little bit, and they added her just enough in part two, and they made it make sense of why they showed her wedding.
She was being catfished, and it's her wedding. And I love that after it goes to hell, she's basically out to murder her fiance.
Can you blame her?
No.
Can you blame her?
My
Just
favorite.
saying.
Okay. After Tom realizes he mixed up the rings, and he runs up to the altar, and he's trying to see the ring, so he just punches him and takes the ring. That was good. But my favorite scene, I think, with the sister there, the bride, is where she's driving the golf cart to try to mow the guy down, and then pulls the e-brake and it spins on the dance floor while she's slow motion stepping out, just like perfect instep as the cart goes into the stage and it explodes behind her. Oh, that was just fucking great.
It was ridiculous because I'm like, okay, we'll just crash into the stage, maybe the stage falls over. But throw the explosion in there. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not?
It was ridiculous, but
I wasn't
it
mad
was
at it.
great.
Because if it was the 80s, the same shit would have happened. It would have been a bigger building, a bigger explosion, but the same shit would have happened.
And then once Sonic and Knuckles are working on the same team to try to stop Robotnik, and they're discussing their plan to they're running towards Robotnik's giant robot, and Sonic's like, it's me he wants. I'll distract him. Well, you two go up there. And Knuckles is congratulating him on choosing death or something like that. It's like, congrats on running off to your certain doom or something like that. And Sonic's like, we're gonna have to work on your pep talks.
Yeah, I like that. I laughed at that too. I was like, that's kind of funny right there too. I was like, yeah, because these pep talks suck. There's no way in hell you give me any like hope that I'm gonna survive. He's just like, nah, you're gonna die, motherfucker.
And then just Gold Sonic, man, that was really cool that they brought that in.
It was like, I mean,
with the Chaos Emerald and everything.
It was like when, I mean, and I know this came out before Mario did, but it was like when Mario got the mushroom in the newer Mario movie, where he took over. You know what I mean? It was like that. Or where he got the cat suit, even to an extent, when he was fighting Donkey Kong.
No, it was no, actually, yeah, that's a good analogy. That was Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
I'm not saying it again.
Sorry. That's fine. I understand one or two is enough. After that, you're just looking for attention.
But it is very similar to the end of the Mario movie where Mario gets the star and becomes invincible. Gold Sonic is invincible.
Yeah, exactly.
With the Chaos Emerald and everything like that.
Actually, Mario and Luigi got to start at the same time in the last movie. So,
but again, this was a great final battle where they take down Robotnik's giant robot and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, another line, and then when they're celebrating playing baseball, another line that cracked me up because Knuckles doesn't know what baseball is. Sonic says something about or Tails says something about his fastball, or Sonic says it, and Knuckles is like, your fastball will be dishonored. He's getting ready to swing when he's getting ready to bat.
Yeah.
And instead of swinging the bat, he just punches it instead. I forgot what he said.
Chaos punch or something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Punched the shit out that ball. Like, oh my god. Punched it out the stadium and went through the sign, like it was the sign that had the hole that goes on fire. Like,
Yep.
you know how it
And
goes.
they're telling him about ice cream and sprinkles and everything, and he talks about his victory over base of ball.
Yep.
It was great. That was a fun ending. And then of course, the after credits scene in this is Project Shadow, but I don't remember if there's any what the story is behind Project Shadow or when he showed up in the games or anything.
I don't either, but I didn't own the games until mostly my adulthood, let's say, and I never really went through the games like that. Like here and there, I'll play them, and I go through like maybe the first 2 to 3 stages, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm cool on it now. I do want to eventually go through it more. It's just I don't play it enough. To be honest, I don't play it enough. I should.
I don't know. This is one of those games that if I'd pull it up now and play it a little bit, and then I know I'd get tired of it again.
You know what's funny, and I'm not gonna lie, and maybe I should try it with because I mean I could play it handheld with the Switch. I feel like I played this game the most, and I enjoyed it the most for whatever reason. Even though I enjoy like a system type of game now way more than the handheld, but on the Game Gear, I enjoyed this game the most. So maybe I'll try it on the Switch like that for a little bit and see, maybe. And if I don't enjoy it like that, then I'm just gonna do it the way I enjoy playing games, like regular, sitting down like right here.
Told you, man. This needed to be a good show. I stopped playing God of War for this, and
Listen, man, we did what we could. We did what we could.
It was worth it.
You know, these movies were good. Seriously, these movies were good. I definitely recommend them, and I'd say watch them back to back. If you have the time, watch them back to back. If you've never seen them before,
100%. If you got the time if you haven't seen these and you're looking for
yeah, a good 4. Let's say you got a good 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, or how long.
So,
I think the second one's about 2 hours.
Yeah, the first one was legit just an hour and a half.
Hour
And the second one was 2 hours.
So give yourself about 4 hours to be safe. Give yourself a little half-hour break in between, go potty, and all that stuff.
I would definitely recommend these. I think these are definitely some of the best video game movies out there.
And on top of that, they're good family movies, I would say. Like, watch this with your kids if you got kids.
Oh, yeah, kids will love this.
It's a good family movie. And, yeah, watch with your family. Watch with your family. Make it a family night movie. Check it out. Watch it. And let us know what you guys think of it. Drop it right down in the comments right over here. Let us know what you guys think of it. Even if it's down the road, let us know what you guys think of it, and we'll get back to you as soon as we could. And, yeah, I mean, again, I give both of these movies a 7.5. Not bad at all. Not something I'll necessarily go through to watch again on my own. If someone was like, I want to watch them, started we watch them with me, yes. If the wife asked if she wanted to watch them, I think she's seen them before, though. She probably has. But yes, or something like that, then yes. But other than that, I'm not going to go and like, hey, I got to watch these again, because they're not like that for me. They may be like that for some others, but they're decent. 7.5 is not a bad score at all for me.
Man.
And again, would you do a 7 or
9 and 9.5?
9 and 9.5. That's right. 9
Oh,
9.5.
Almost a 10.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. And then in 2 weeks, Uncle Buck and the Ghostbusters. That's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, it is.
That's gonna be fun.
See if we can bring some more people in for that one. That's gonna be good.
Yeah. So far, now we got Jason from 3 Geeks. See who else we can get. Maybe let's see if we can get Mick over here. And we'll see. We'll see. But let's have a fun time with that. But I guess we can wrap this one up.
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Burrito, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for popping by, and see you in 2 weeks. Peace. Oh, happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Because it'll be
right. No, we're coming.
It'll be after Halloween.
We're coming back after Halloween. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So happy Halloween, and we'll probably say it again on our.
Be safe. Wrap it up,
or don't. Feels better.
Yeah. Watch out for razor blades.
Definitely, you don't want to cut yourself. Not down there. Oh, we're talking about other stuff. Be safe. Seriously, Be safe, and have a great time. And #peace.